it mirrors federal legislation, and most importantly, it makes sure that government doesn't step in and try to erode really important rights that are guaranteed to individuals with the First Amendment.
But not everyone agrees. Critics say instead it opens the door to legal discrimination. So this bill says the state cannot substantially burden a person's exercise of religion. The Interfaith Alliance of Iowa says, however, it will allow people to skirt around laws they don't want to follow. So here to talk about this is the Executive Director of the Interfaith Alliance, Connie Ryan. Connie, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.
You were giving me kind of just the up-to-date about the Interfaith Alliance, just talking about religious freedoms overall, and that is exactly why your group came to be.
Yeah, we are 28 years old, and at the very core of what we do is protecting religious freedom. And also, there are a lot of efforts to misuse religious freedom to take away people's rights. And so this work with the what we would call religious exemptions bill and language really is at the core of what we do as an organization.
So that said, this is an effort that you were telling me that lawmakers have been considering for more than a dozen sessions before it finally passed and then the governor signed. So up until now, what has kept it from becoming law?
Well, it really is a couple of things. One, the legislature has become more and more conservative, more and more red, if you will. Previously, there was more balance in the legislature, so that helped. The other piece of it is that there was a strong opposition from the business community on this. They do not, the business community in general does not want this type of legislation. We see this legislation in many states across the country, and the business community has not wanted it because it does put a message out there that discrimination is okay. That's not good for their employees, it's not good for the employee families, and it's not a good look for a state where business is trying to do their work. And so that has always been a piece of that, and that hasn't changed. What changed over this session in particular is that conservative lawmakers were not listening to business in particular. And many times in hearings, we heard that time and again, that they didn't believe what the business leaders were telling them. Then there's civil rights groups that have worked on this this is my 14th session, and I've worked on it every year. And we were always successful in being able to have conversations and to get lawmakers to understand the impact of the law. This year, unfortunately, we were not successful.
So now that the governor has signed this bill into law, what are some of the concerns or the impact that you see once it's on the books?
Certainly. Well, and again, I want to say clearly that we are supportive of religious freedom and your ability to practice your own religion, your ability to choose religion or not. It is your personal right to do that, and that is protected in our country. And that still remains, and we would still stand up and support your right to do that on a personal level. What the bill does is pit you against me. And if I say from my religious beliefs, I don't believe that as a business owner that I should have to serve you for whatever reason. You are gay or lesbian, transgender, you are Muslim, you are an immigrant, you are, for whatever reason, you are a woman, that I don't believe that I should have to serve you as a business. I don't believe as a landlord that I should have to rent you an apartment. I don't believe as a healthcare provider that I should have to give you a particular service that you need in healthcare. There's lots of different ways this plays out and has played out in different states. And so it pits us against each other, and it elevates religious freedom above any other civil right. It also has been used to skirt other laws beyond civil rights as well in other states. We don't believe that anyone should be able to skirt the law, including civil rights, simply because you have a religious belief. You get to have that religious belief, you get to practice your religion, but you don't get to take away somebody else's rights or impact their life.
Where does this issue go then now that becomes law? I assume that's something that the Interfaith Alliance will not be, that fight is not over on your end.
Right. The fight is not over. The law is in place. The governor did sign it. A lot of folks have asked if there are going to be lawsuits. We don't know what that trajectory looks like and what that will happen. But what we are going to do as an organization is continue to educate people on their civil rights and that they can stand up for their rights. If they're discriminated against because somebody has a religious belief, they should be able to have some kind of relief from that. We have human and civil rights organizations that will stand behind people. We're going to do some work with some different communities to say that all are welcome in Iowa and to put a different message out there than what this law projects onto people.
Okay, we appreciate your insight, your perspective, and your time this afternoon. Thanks,
Thank
Connie.
you so much. Appreciate it.